Hello everybody, Codemasters here, and welcome to Dirt Rally. This is a game that nobody really saw coming, and it is part of the Codemasters Dirt franchise, which dates back to the older Colin McRae rally games. I particularly never cared for any of the Dirt games. A little bit too much on the arcade side, too flashy. It's more about the atmosphere of it than it was the actual driving. But I do really like rally and have been long kind of lusting for a true rally simulation. This game seems to be attempting to go that way, and I'm going to approach it with very low expectations, to be honest. I don't have a lot of faith in the Codemasters physics engine. It's never really proven to me to be great. Even back in the Colin McRae rally days, just didn't have a very good feel to it. I felt as though their competitors, which is Burns Rally or even Rally Trophy, even the Microsoft ones, I can't remember what they were called, but they had a much more realistic feeling physics engine. However, the devs have been very upfront with the community about their intentions to make this a racing simulation, so I hope that they can kind of impress me. I have spent a little bit of time with the game already. It came out just 2 days ago on early access, and very unlike me, I just kind of sprung right onto it, mostly due to the way the developers were kind of talking to the community and really asking for feedback. They wanted to know what we thought of it, if there was even a market for this, if they're headed in the right direction. So, just that aspect of it made me kind of want to play this game, and maybe it will be a big surprise, and it will be the rally game we've all been waiting for. So let's find out. This is going to be a one-stage rally event here. There is already kind of a career mode going. I don't think I'm quite ready for that. I have been struggling to get the steering wheel settings set up. That's a common issue with Codemasters games. We have that problem all the time with the F1 series, had that problem with the old Pro Race Driver series, which I also was not a big fan of, and it seems to be carrying over into this. So definitely the wheel settings leave a lot to be desired. But as far as content goes, in case you wanted to see, for the early access we will have 3 locations: Greece, Wales, and Monaco. This one's going to be more dirt, this one's going to be more gravel, and this one's going to be more asphalt and snow. So, that's a pretty good smattering of locations. Kind of covers all the different types of rally. There will be, in the future, more added content for free, not paid DLC, which is pretty cool. And if we continue on, we'll see. We'll just kind of pick one of these. I don't have any of them memorized or anything like that. Did I go? No, I went to Monaco. I don't want to go to Wales. Let's do that. I think the gravel is a nice, it's a nice starting point for rally. As far as the cars goes, we have different eras of cars. So we start with the 60s, where we'll have things like the Mini Cooper S and the Lancia Fulvia, and then you'll move up to the 70s, and you'll get the Fiat 131 Barth, which is cool, the Ford Escort Mark II, and the Lancia Stratos, so pretty cool options there. 80s will give us the E30 and the Sierra Cosworth, very cool. Definitely some nice options. The Group B cars are, of course, going to be very heavily detailed, and the Group A ones as well. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go for the Subaru Impreza. This is kind of the era where I started to get into rally, so I can relate to it. Alright, so we get this as far as the menu. You can do setups. It's slider based, however they are very detailed. You can see there's a lot of options as far as the sliders go, and it has pretty much everything you might want to adjust: brake bias, differentials, even the center diff. The gearing is kind of a short to long kind of setup, and then suspension. I'm going to go ahead and say springs as far as this goes, and shocks as far as this goes. But yeah, that's pretty much everything you would want to adjust. It just doesn't have numerical values, just sliders. Not sure how I feel about that. It depends on just how detailed they want to take this game. You also will get 3 shakedowns, which will be a short little bit of the first stage. Let's go ahead and do one of those. I think I selected that one, I hope so. We're in the rain and at night. So for the start, you gotta hold the E-brake. Engage launch control. Here we go. Alright, kinda adjusted the steering again. One of the things this game was actually missing on the initial launch. If you watch videos from yesterday, which there are a lot of them out there, but yeah, there was no pace notes, which was a little weird. It's a common joke that the rally drivers can't even hear these pace notes, but trust me, they're very useful, because I was struggling yesterday to find my way around. You can see the steering, it looks very jittery, but that jitter that you see in the wheel you don't actually feel in force feedback. The wheel is actually not moving like that. I'm of course using my normal G27. I reduced, okay, in the ditch. The turning radius to 270, which seems to be its happy medium. There is also the ability to change, we will enter the race and I will look at that. You can change things such as controls, advanced wheel settings, the saturation and the linearity. I went ahead and went down -10 on the linearity because it seemed like I was not able to turn the wheel enough. So I was maybe turning the wheel an inch to the right, an inch to the left the whole time, and that's not very realistic, and it gives you 0 feel for the car. So reducing that to -10 gave me the ability to give it some wheel and have some kind of adjustability in how much steering input I was giving it. But let's go ahead and get going here, and I'll discuss my thoughts as I go as far as the physics and such, because that's, to me, the most important part of this. It's the biggest challenge, it's the biggest hurdle for them.
40, press right 5.
Right, so we will have remembered this first part from our shakedown. This is my first time recording in the game, and I'm recording it in 1080. And it seems like it's holding 30-ish frames per second. I'll have to look in post and see if it's choppy or not. But having full screen for rally is super important. Definitely need as much. Whoop, whoop. Oh, that hurt. So this is one of the, okay, guess we made it back on. One of the aspects of it is it will give you a timer if you are off course. You have to get back to the course by then, or they will automatically recover you. You can press a button and get recovered and take a penalty as far as time goes.
Right 5 down, 100 through depth.
Alright, now this is, if I do end up doing a full Let's Play of this game, it will be not like most of my racing Let's Plays, because you definitely have to have a high level of focus, concentration, as you might expect for any kind of rally racing. You don't often hear the driver in rallies ever talking. That, and then on top of that, with me talking, I'm not being able to hear what my navigator is telling me. Don't cut. It's important. Ooh, okay, that's why he said don't cut. You should listen to him. Alright, so I guess now that you've kind of seen what it looks like, let me start to describe how it feels. The number one struggle that I'm having is steering feel. It's just very difficult to decide what your input is doing to the car. It almost feels a little delayed, and it doesn't feel connected to the front wheels. It almost feels as though I'm driving the car from the center axis, like I'm rotating it in the world instead of actually steering the wheels. And I have to turn the game volume way down for you to be able to hear me. Whoop, let's not hit the ambulance, that would be bad.
Left 5 long.
So when I say that, it doesn't make it necessarily
And left 5
hard to
long,
drive.
then
I'm
130
sucking
over
because
crest.
I just haven't gotten used to it yet. It just doesn't give it a whole lot of realism.
80. Left 5
That's a
long,
hard balance to
keep in
make.
80.
Rally is not an easy thing, so making it
Left 5 long, keep
super
in
realistic.
130. Over jump maybe.
Did he say jump maybe?
Left 6 jump 60.
It's jump. Making it super realistic is probably going to limit their ability to sell this game. And if you're going to call it Dirt, which is a series that has a long-standing tradition of being arcade, people are going to be pissed off if they can't actually even play the game, because it's too realistic. But you see there, I'm barely giving it input to make it around that hairpin. It just kind of feels like the car automatically rotates around those turns like that. Which, like I said, it just breaks the realism, kind of breaks the immersion factor. Another thing is, with the tires connected to the ground, I don't feel as though I'm able to sense when I'm getting wheel spin or if I'm getting wheel spin. Kind of just have to listen to the RPM. You ever notice that in every rally game ever, there's always logs piled around? Especially on a Wales circuit. I guess maybe that's something that's true to real life, I'm not sure. But I notice it in every rally game ever. But in like a hairpin and whatnot, without using e-brake, it is essentially impossible to get the car to go sideways. So let me try and find it. Okay, there you go. That's grabbing the e-brake, which got it sideways. That seems not right to me. You should be able to get the car to slide and pitch around just based off of throttle input. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get off the berm, get off the berm. Actually doing well. Other than that first incident, I'm doing relatively okay here.
Right 5 and right 5 continues.
Oh, 56 seconds down. Never mind. Just kidding.
Keep mid over crest and gate 100.
It's certainly difficult. If that was their end goal is just to make the game more difficult, they've done that. But they've done it more so through, I think, getting rid of the auto-driving kind of stuff. Oh, but now they need to improve the physics engine to kind of match that. So with all that negativity, is it worth the $29? So far, I would say probably yes. It's actually pretty fun and rewarding, you know, when you get it right. I just think it could be better with a little bit more immersion. Another thing that probably kind of hurts that is it seems very slow. Like I'm currently going 130 kilometers an hour through this trail. Whoa, whoa, missed my pace notes. Ah, see, there's the penalty system. And it just, I don't know, it feels like I'm crawling along. The entire time it feels like I'm barely moving. I don't know necessarily what is causing that. Is it a field of view thing? Is it a lack of speed blur? I'm not sure. But it just seems kind of like everything's happening in slow motion. Which is something games like Richard Burns Rally and the older rally sims did very well at. You always had that feeling like you were flying through the woods.
Right 6, 100, keep mid over crest, jump maybe.
Jump maybe.
And keep right over crest, 80,
Okay.
keep left over crest.
Oh, hate that.
Braking
God, I hate
100,
that.
right 4 down.
Come on. Alright, gonna have to recover it. That's camera. One of these buttons is, there we go. That's E-brake, there we go, now we're back. I am super excited that there is a cockpit view. That, if there hadn't been a real cockpit view, that would have been very disappointing. That's kind of the thing they really screwed up with Grid Autosport. Which I see this and Grid Autosport kind of being very similar. It's an attempt to take their series into a more simulation route. But so far they're doing it more so with their words than their actions, I would say. But even just to have a more realistic kind of environment is better than the whole flashy, showy, all about drama kind of based stuff they've been doing with the previous Dirt games. So there's still, I still think there's a good place for this game to be at where it's at right now, even if they just leave the physics like it is. Alright, now I'm going to attack a tarmac event, and I'm going to do it in the E30. And Night Mist, okay. But it's, yeah, 93% tarmac, 7% ice. And we'll see how the asphalt physics kind of compare to the gravel. Let's do a shakedown real quick, try and get a feel for it. Let's see, we're going to a rear-wheel drive car. The sounds are pretty good.
3, 2, 1, go.
And not just the engine sounds, but even the environment sounds and such like that.
Right 2 into
oh,
left
man. 2. So dirty, very dirty.
Into right 3.
Asphalt's a little slick. Actually, I was able to feel. Okay, look at the way I kind of wish now I had done some kind of like face cam or something like that, or even hand cam, so you could see what I'm doing with my steering inputs. But I'm just barely nudging the wheel back and forth to get it to steer around these big turns. It almost feels like I'm controlling it with a gamepad or controller instead of a steering wheel.
Into right 660.
Let me try and adjust my steering settings as well.
Right 6 long crest.
When I had it set to 900 degrees, it was much the same. It wasn't as if that made it much less, twitchy. Okay, that was a little twitchy right there. It just made it so that when you did turn, I'd basically have to turn the wheel 90 degrees and just keep flopping back from there at 90 degrees either way. So that didn't work either. So let's see if maybe we can head all the way down on the linearity, so perhaps a different setting. Controls, advanced. Let's see, with saturation help. Let's put it at 15, just compare. Alright, I'm holding the brake.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh god, that made it worse. That made it much worse. Turn it off.
Right 2,
Turn it off.
into left 2.
Where's escape? Okay. That's not good. Controls, advanced. Saturation. Can I get more than 100%? Can I get less than 10? No, I cannot. Should I give it a dead zone? Let's try about a... No. Dead zones aren't any fun, so let's not do that. We'll just deal with what we got. Back. There we go.
Into right 3.
I mean, the difference is I'm able to give it the wheel now, and the wheel is following it in game, so the rotation amount is correct. It just seems like the car, the way the car reacts to your steering inputs is a little over-dramatized.
Into open hairpin right.
Open hairpin right. That's open, huh? Because I definitely see a wall on the outside. Go, car, go.
Into left 2 long.
Go. That must be some graphic stuff over there. Just had a huge frame drop.
Left 6 into right 3 crest, hairpin left.
Throttle and the brake response is good. No complaints as far as that
Into right
goes.
5. Into left 1 long, tightens. Into right 1/2 long.
Alright,
Into left 3 long,
getting a feel
100.
for it.
Hairpin
Certainly
right.
having some more frame rate issues on this one than I was the others.
Into left 5.
Graphically, I like what they did. It's pretty much the same graphics engine they've been using, but
Into left
much
2
less
long.
over shiny.
Into right 2
Looks a
long.
little dark and gritty,
Left 3
which I think
crest.
fits the theme of the game pretty well.
And open hairpin left. Into right 3 long.
Oh! Hey, pace notes guy. How come you didn't tell me about the open wall right there?
Into left 3 long, don't cut. Into hairpin right. And right 3 long, don't cut over crest.
Okay. I don't think I necessarily needed that recovery right
Into
there, but
left
it gave it
4,
to me.
60. Left 4. Into right 6, 60.
I hate to be negative. I mean, a lot of videos I've seen reviewing this, giving first impressions of everyone's been kind of
Hairpin right, opens.
positive, pretty positive about it. But I think that's probably
Left 4 continues
people that
to
were
100.
used to the old Dirt games.
Into right 4 over jump.
Apparently
don't
this
cut,
is much
40
better than
narrows.
that.
Left 6 over crest.
Which I would say probably so in the little bit I've messed around with them.
And left 2 opens over crest.
Overall,
150.
I have to say I'm not terribly impressed with the physics as of
Right
yet.
6 continues 100.
It's the steering that's killing it.
Into hairpin
I
left.
could refine just the steering a little bit, make it feel a little bit more connected to the front wheels.
60.
Wow, it's the first time I've actually gotten it sideways just with the brakes.
And right 6 over crest. 40.
Would definitely be
Crest,
very good.
Left 6. Immediate hairpin right. 150 over crest.
Alright. Starting to get a little bit of a hang
Right,
for
6
the
over
car
crest.
and the grip levels of the
Left 5
asphalt.
And right 6 long. Into open hairpin right.
I'm not really getting any kind of feeling that there is varying
An
grips
ice
in the
patch is
surface.
right
It's just kind of the same
Left
all the
5
time.
continues for
He just
100.
called for an ice patching.
Into right 5.
Heck if I know where it was,
Into
because it
left
all felt the
6.
same to me.
Into right 4 long, don't cut. Into care left 1 long, narrow on exit.
Narrow and exit, okay, I'm starting to
Into right 6 half long.
definitely have to start
150
to
through
learn what the pace notes mean.
to finish.
There's our finish. Alright, well that is my first impressions of Dirt Rally. I will be keeping an eye on the game and giving you random updates to it as far as its development goes. At this point, I don't think I'm ready to start any kind of Let's Play of it. We'll see if it develops any further or gets any better in that regard. Maybe I will. There is basically just very simple, short championships as far as the career goes right now. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to see if I start to get a better feel for it and such off camera. And if that starts to happen, maybe we will do a regular Let's Play in the career mode. But other than that, I will probably just do some videos updating the progress and giving further impressions on it in the future. Alrighty, well I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gives you somewhat of an idea of what to expect with Dirt Rally. Maybe it will save you from spending your money on it if you don't think it's anything you will enjoy, or maybe you didn't hear about it and this is opened up your eyes and is something you've been waiting for, and you do want to go out and get it. So I do hope I was somewhat helpful in helping you with that decision. I know it probably sounded pretty negative overall, but I'm just wanting to be as brutally honest as possible as far as the driving portions of it go, because I know as a sim racer, if anybody else out there has the same kind of taste as I do, you're going to feel the same way about the driving physics, and hopefully they will improve in the future.